Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Raw Deal. It's the champion, joined, of course, by my forever rival, the Trick Matty himself. Matt, how you doing
Yeah.
today, brother?
What is up, Greg? It's a cold one here, and it's probably cold where a lot of our audience. Well, if it's cold wherever you're at, bundle up, stay bundled up. It's a nice, balmy 16 degrees here in Louisville with a wind chill of 8. So, like I was telling Mongo earlier, I just got done having my furnace repaired.
Yeah, you need that. You need that for this kind of weather. It's
Yeah, yeah.
it's
It
terrible.
definitely decided to die. Well, it decided to start acting stupid yesterday, and we don't have time for that.
Yeah, I ain't kidding. What's going on, Batty? Manga didn't give y'all the day off on. All right, okay. Look,
I am always the volunteer. When Mongo asked me, he said he was running late. Could I do the show? I was. I pushed the show back to 6:30 because people wasn't done fixing my furnace. And then Mongo was like, well, I'll be back by then. But you got your same two favorite folks. I don't know where everybody else will probably show up next time we have predictions, maybe.
more than likely.
What
What's
up,
going on,
Reggie?
Reggie? Happy
Happy
MLK Day.
MLK Day.
Man. So let's start off today before we get into Raw. Uh, there's a big championship match tonight between Seth freaking Rollins and the modern day Maharaja, or as you like to call him, the Maharaja Mac Daddy, Jinder Richie himself, Jinder Mahal,
Man.
and that's caused a big old controversy the past few weeks between AEW and WWE fans. Uh, at first, someone mentioned that the last time Seth and Jinder fought was for the NXT Championship, and USA Network responded saying, "What was the cage match rating on that match?"
Oh,
And
goodness.
that led to Tony Khan going after him and having this long two-tweet uh, rebuttal, insulting them for putting Jinder in a championship match when he hasn't won a match since 2022, which is fair.
Right.
Which is fair. And comparing it to Hook being 28-1, saying that people are mad that Hook is getting a title shot. And I don't know anyone that is mad about Hook getting a title shot, but I'm sure he saw somebody say it.
Somebody got to fight Samoa Joe. So I don't know what they mad about, what they could possibly be mad about. Like, somebody has to fight Samoa Joe.
Hey, that's a good match for him to have. It continued throughout the week, and then Booker T on his podcast, I think it was a podcast, make sure, yep, on the Hall of Fame podcast, Booker T said this about, it's not really about Hook, it's more about Tony Khan's booking, but, you know, it involves Hook.
Right.
He said, "Do you remember 5 of those 28 wins that Hook had? Do you remember 5 of the guys that Hook beat? Do you remember 3 of the guys that Hook beat? I don't want anyone to think I'm hating on Hook. I don't want anyone to think for 1 second that I'm hating on Hook. I want to touch on Tony Khan more than anything." Pause. When I asked, "How many of these wins do you remember Hook had on television?" That's a winning streak. You can't remember one. Uh, he keeps going. The thing is, it seems like that would have been a hell of a time to make Hook a household name, that 28-0 run. Seems like he would have all these shows on Dynamite. I don't know when the hell he picked up a 28-1 record because I haven't seen this kid. But then he says, "Personally, I don't watch a lot of AEW."
I was about to say, like, he sounded like us talking about their records, but at the same time, we're not watching everything. You know, even on top of that, we know those records are inflated.
Yeah, that was like Reggie says. I remember QT and Marshall. I we used to say that about like records and it was always because they were on dark.
Right.
And like, well, yeah, that's more dark and dark element. Like, that's way too much, man. Like, it's no, I'm not watching those. But Hook, I'm pretty sure most of his matches have actually been on Dynamite or Rampage.
Yeah.
So, like, we've seen most of those matches. And then Booker T finishes off saying, "I do watch a lot of highlights from AEW, TNA, and every other organization, and I have not seen a whole lot of buzz about Hook. There should be a hell of a buzz about Hook if he has a 28-1 record. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about that. I know that if this kid was in Reality of Wrestling, Booker T's promotion down in Texas, and he had a 28-1 run, he'd be near the top rung as far as people talking about him on a weekly basis.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sure, but he has had his matches on TV. You know, he had matches against Jungle Boy. Those are like that Jungle Boy was his most recent feud, right? Of the team, not TNT, the FTW Championship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he teamed up with Orange Cassidy a few times, doing tag matches. He's defended the belt a few times against, you know, like Reggie said, QT Marshall. I'm not the best person to ask about this because my memory is crappy. But like I think when he says I don't watch a lot of AEW, that's when you're like, all right, well, this whole statement's kind of thrown out the window, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. Because at this point, it's like that's not a record that was actually inflated. We actually saw those wins. This isn't like Goldberg, where one week he's 17-0, the next week he's 47-0.
Right.
Where did those 30 wins come from?
Like I remember, like if anything, for Hook's sake, I remember him losing more than I remember him winning. Like most of his wins, it's like you know he's gonna win.
that one loss he had, yeah, that was the most important match because that was a big loss. Yeah. And whether you want to say, you know, whether it was capitalized on well or not, I don't know. That's really, you know, that comes down to just kind of nitpicky and personal opinion.
That falls on Tony Khan. That don't fall on Hook. Hook is going out there.
Again, that was Booker T's argument, was that this is because of Tony Khan. But when Booker says I don't watch it, well, then yeah, you're probably not going to know.
Right.
The Hook wins aren't going to be the most important match of the show because he's been building up as a rookie for a while. You know, that's not going to be the number one highlight over, you know, Omega's storyline or Hangman Swerve or any of that stuff. Reggie says Hook's record was more credible to Goldberg's because AEW doesn't tour while WCW did. Yeah. I don't even know if I don't know. I think they were just like adding numbers to that shit by the end of it. I mean, he ended up having like a 3-digit record, didn't he?
Yeah, like Goldberg was like what,
it was over
170 something.
Yeah, 173, I think.
Something it was something ridiculous. I'm like, all right, there's no way you've wrestled 170 something times already.
Yeah, it's insane. But that was all. You know, Booker was of course defending his company's superstar and all that stuff. Yeah, you know, as far as comparing them, we did it last week on the podcast. Obviously, you know, we side with Hook.
Right.
flat out better wrestler. That's not even the question. This whole thing's kind of gotten out of hand, and it's so weird. Like if you had told me in 2023 that one of the biggest fights between the AEW and WWE stands would be Hook versus Jinder Mahal, I don't know what I would say because that sounds ridiculous. It sounds insane, and yet here we are. It's strange, but you know we'll move on from that. Rich says yeah, it's 173 before we lost. Damn, yeah, that's okay. There you go. Before we get to the Raw thing, one last thing we want to talk about. It was a big night for TNA on Saturday. They had one hell of a show. Crowned a few new champions. I think 4.
Yeah, they went crazy. And switching those belts.
In 2 of those matches, we saw some debuts in the crowd. Well, one in the crowd and one in the ring. Ash by Elegance.
Ass.
Was being teased all night. And everyone was like, was that Mandy? Is it Camille? Camille tweeted, I don't look like that.
I knew it wasn't Mandy. I'm just like, whoever it is, I don't know who this could possibly be, but I'm disappointed. And when they revealed it, I was like, yep, I'm definitely disappointed.
I was like, there's no way Mercedes has that kind of wig on. that does not suit her. And then a tweet showed up later with her and Bailey and the Raptors watching the matches. Like, oh, okay, yeah, they're obviously not involved. Yeah, it was Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke showed up in the Knockouts championship match. Sure.
Right.
We've mentioned several times before that TNA is a great place to go to reinvent yourself. And if people think you're a loser and you go to TNA and you have a chance to show all, like you end up becoming a major star there. Happened with Myers and Steve Macklin. Happened with Deonna Purrazzo, who is now in AEW. Um, so I'm not gonna say it's bad. But fans were upset, rightfully so, because they thought that was the big surprise. Where Scott D'Amore was like, "This is gonna be as big as Christian and Kurt Angle," and like that was a really big. Those are big names to throw out. And oh god, it's Dana Brooke. Oh, TNA just TNA themselves. So
Yeah.
before that happened, there was a signed deal between or not AEW, TNA and AAA, where they have an official partnership. People were like, was that the surprise? Was that the special
Right.
signing? But no, was not. Because after the TNA World Title match, where Moose became the new TNA World Champion to bring in a new era, his celebration was cut short by the debuting Nick Nemeth. That's right, it's Nicky time, Matt.
It's Dolph time, baby!
The former Dolph Ziggler appeared in the ring, super kicks Moose, and then celebrates in the crowd. Tears his shirt off. He's got the TNA across the shirt. We learned that night that TNA has signed Zaya Brookside, who made her debut in the Ultimate X match, Ash by Elegance, and Nick Nemeth. They've all been officially signed to TNA. So Nemeth, who was earlier in New Japan last week, setting up some matches, we didn't think he was going to be like if he showed up in TNA, we didn't think he'd be signed. We kind of figured he'd just be doing the free agency thing for a while now. He signed the deal on the dotted line.
I sure did.
Reggie says the funny thing is Matt said that it wasn't going to be Dolph. And the thing is, we were talking about this in chat, that we would be disappointed if it was Dolph. But what was great about it was Scott D'Amore knew that. So he did Ash by Elegance first to make us all pissy. This is the genius. This is the genius of Scotty D.
That is the genius of TNA. We're going to disappoint you by showing you. We're going to fake you out by disappointing you with not one but two announcements.
Mm-hmm. So at that point, we were like, "Oh my god, that was it." And
Michael will tell you, I was unhappy in that chat. I was like, I wasted my time watching this show, and y'all gave me some Ash by Elegance. Oh no, I'm gonna need my money back that I didn't pay.
Yeah, but no. When Dolph Ziggler showed up, we all lost our collective shit because despite what we said, that is a big name. It's a big name,
That's my dude. I'm Dolph.
So, congrats, Scotty. You got us. Damn it, you got us.
Ready for Nick Nemeth.
It's a big deal. It's a great deal for them. We're not going to talk about spoilers for the next set of tapings, but he's going after the big world title already. Cookie says, "Why do y'all hate Dana?" We don't hate Dana. It's just
I ain't gonna say I hate Dana, but the writing is on the wall. She is not going to get any better. Like they gave her all those years to get better, and I'm like, all right, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt and let her see if she'll improve.
What's going on, Jersey? Yeah,
our new predictions, viewer predictions champion.
Congratulations, Jersey, the new predictions champion.
Showed up and took that belt. And it's not even the fact that we hate Dana. It's just that she's not good. And no matter what they keep trying to do with her, she's not good, because I said it in the chat. I'm like, y'all really gonna go out here and sign somebody whose best run was literally their last run in the company when they decided to make her the Make-A-Wish 24/7 champion, and then had her like show up because they want. She did her like a promo appearance with a belt, and everybody's like, "Yeah, come on now." Like, y'all really TNA's really backing somebody that WWE basically gave a Make-A-Wish run for, and y'all want me to believe that they're going to be good? Nah.
Yeah,
Nah.
we've given her chances her entire WWE career, and again, you know, like we were saying before, TNA is great when you're going over to reinvent yourself and try to.
Mm-hmm.
There are a multitude of stars that have done that and have made themselves better and earned respect. So it's not that it can't happen, but to do that, we just don't really have a lot of hype behind her right now, and it was a disappointing moment for a lot of fans. I was in, not only was I in our group chat, I was in a few like community discords watching the show, and everyone felt the same way. Like, oh my god, they TNA'd it again. Oh god,
because it's like
this is like when they were announcing a big signing and it was Sean Morrissey, like
yeah.
Venus. I was like, what? Why the hell was that a big deal? Same thing here.
Because it's not as if like Dana. It's all about the talent. With us, with Dana, it's not as if it doesn't matter the gimmick. She can probably make the gimmick worthwhile, but if she's not still worth a damn in that ring, it's not gonna matter. Like, Ash by Elegance can be everything it could ever be, but if she's still looking like she was looking a few months ago before she got that 24/7 title, oh, I'm not gonna care. It'll just be like having another Alicia Edwards in the ring.
Yeah, pretty much. And this division is pretty stacked, even with them losing Deanna and Trinity.
Right.
It's I just don't see her stacking up with the rest. But
Yeah.
you know, again, we could be proven wrong. But yeah, Nick Nemeth is here. He's going to be immediately inserted into the world title picture, which is great for them. Overall, a really good show. We'll cover it on Thursday during the podcast. But yeah, if you haven't seen the show yet, go give it a watch. It's really fun. Right. Or PLE. I apologize. Now let's get into the Raw preview. Again tonight, the big match of the night. Will Seth Rollins take the gender curse just like Randy Orton did? You know, we'll find out. But before we do that, Gunther returns to Raw tonight. Unfortunately, with no Giovanni Vinci. I don't know how long he's out. I think they said a few weeks, maybe a month.
Oh man.
There was also an injury over the weekend at a house show where Corey Jade tore her ACL, reportedly. I don't know if that's a fact yet. That was just reported by Dave Meltzer.
I think it's been confirmed. Basically, I think it's been confirmed now. But either way, like, she just came back
on Friday. Carmelo Hayes and Austin Theory both got hurt.
Yep.
During their match, during a botched springboard Spanish fly, where they both landed on their heads and necks. But they seem to be okay. They've had some face contusions, but no concussions, so they should be fine.
Thankfully.
Yeah. But yeah, the WWE is definitely getting bit by the injury bug again. And it's, you know, it's scary. So hopefully that's all cooled down now. Gunther's back. I am not sure who's going to be his next contender.
I don't think anyone knows at this point.
Maybe he doesn't really defend it, the Royal Rumble, and he just has a big showing in the match. That's my guess. We're also going to see Dirty Dom and JD take on DIY. I see another fail for Dom.
Another horrible theme. Their entrance theme.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. That song is so terrible. Reggie says
every time I hear it, I'm like getting up.
it's ass. R-Truth says that, Reggie says R-Truth is going for the IC championship. Gunther will get his ass whooped by R-Truth.
I mean, we'll take those quick little title defense points.
Why not? We also have another Judgment Day match as Damian Priest and Finn Balor take on fellow Judgment Day member R-Truth and The Miz in another tag team match. It's the Awesome Truth's return after their match against, I think it was JD and Dom, 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, of course, the final match that they have advertised for tonight, Jinder Mahal to take the belt off Seth freaking Rollins, baby. It's coming. The Maharaja Mac Daddy's back.
It is time. It is time. It is time. It is time. There's gonna be some people mad if Jinder can pull this off. Me, I'm gonna do what I always do and just hope and pray that maybe Damian Priest decides to get bored and cash in. But if that don't happen, then we'll just keep on keeping on with Seth as champion until they decide they're tired of Seth as champion.
Something's got to change. Obviously, you don't want to have Jinder being the champion going into WrestleMania. That'd be insane. But
if Jinder is champion for going into WrestleMania, that man got all sorts of. He got forget about nudes. He got super info on people.
Yeah. He got that black box at Shane head.
Right. Like if he's walking into WrestleMania as champion, the Bollywood boys are getting rehired instantly. Great Khali showing up. Like WrestleMania in Philly is going to be a movie if this happens.
It's going to be a Bollywood movie. I mean, Jinder Mahal,
right?
And the sure. Good God. It should be a fun. We at the DX offices will be. Yeah, Reggie. That was a long con on my end. I knew that it was risky to give y'all Seth, but I knew something like this was gonna happen one of these days.
Because now you run the risk. I had it happen to me last week with Dragon Lee. Yeah, you could have a successful title defense. And then someone like Oba can just show up and just take all your little points away. So you can have a successful title defense against Jinder, but if Priest shows up, then you're screwed. Or Priest could just outright beat you. I mean, not Priest, Jinder could just outright beat you, and that's a super negative. So y'all got decisions to make.
Y'all better hope a cash in happens. That's
right.
So yeah, that's the card for tonight as far as I'm aware. I'm gonna check real quick.
And they got Cody opening the show on Martin Luther King Day.
Of course.
Cody Luther the King is back. Cody Luther.
Yeah, that of course. That makes sense.
Someone asked, they was like, what is Cody going to talk about? And someone put up the screenshot from like whatever old video game that is. It said it has Cody Rhodes saying, "My father is Dusty Rhodes." That's what he's going to say, like, pretty much.
Yeah,
we're gonna go, we'll go, his pyro will explode. He'll say, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah. All right, guys, that's it. That's it for the Raw preview. That's all they have for us. So we're going to cut it there. Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it. We're sorry for the 30-minute delay. I had to make sure he's getting back home, and Matt had some stuff going on in his house, but we want to make sure that we have this done today. We'll be back tomorrow to talk about highlights from today and the NXT preview. You can also catch us on Thursdays for the podcast, which is 8:45 to 9:15 ish. Heavy on the ish. That's kind of how you run things around here. We're never exactly on time, but we're close.
Right. If you're subscribed to us, you'll get the notifications.
Exactly.
You'll know right then and there when we go live, so you can see our beautiful faces.
Which is why you should follow us at facebook.com/UnderTheRingPod and twitch.tv/UnderTheRingPod. You can also find us at Linktree again /UnderTheRingPod. And that's where you'll find links such as myself at Greg Bush SK. We've got Kenny at the Rock Ribs 44. We got the teacher man, Mike Jones at Mr. Freshbeard. Of course, my forever rival, Trick Matty at The Right Answer. Street team captain, Mr. at Boreal Maliente. And last but certainly not least, our good friend and local news correspondent, Justin the Baxi. We will see you all tomorrow, folks. Have a wonderful Monday night. If your team is still in the playoffs, congratulations. If you're a Cowboys fan,
Ouch.
I hope you have alcohol. I hope you have something to drink. Because good God, that was
See y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good one.